Hey guys, James here, and I don't know how to start this. Kratos vs. Asura, we know what's happening. The first episode for 2025 is going to be Kratos vs. Asura, a matchup we all knew was going to happen, even before it got confirmed with the Kickstarter. I don't really know how to feel about this. I like Kratos vs. Asura as a matchup. I just think, by a connection standpoint, it's the best for both. But after the whole Tournament of Champions thing, it's kind of a tad annoying to see it happening before Tom versus Wily, or Wily versus Tom, when it kind of lost fair and square. I think it's more so just annoying to me as a Sands versus Judge fan, who still kind of felt like he got cucked. He kind of got a little fucked over here by Kratos vs. Asura. So, yeah, I'm just a tad annoyed it's happening before Wily versus Tom, but I feel like this is just inevitable. We were going to get this in 2025 when we thought this was going to be season 12 of Death Battle. Given the team very much had clear interest in it, it got as far as it did in the Tournament of Champions. Kratos vs. Asura was an inevitability, and I still just wish it was not on the Tournament of Champions, and then just had something else in its place that was new. But, yeah. I like the matchup by a connection standpoint. It's regarding dynamic that I have a tad issue with it, that I'm not sure if it can really give me what I want out of a Asura matchup, which is cosmic destruction. Destroying the moon, planet, stars, that sort of deal. That is something I would want from an Asura matchup that I don't really think Kratos can give without it seeming kind of janky. Because, I know by stat comparison, yeah, Kratos can match and surpass Asura, but whenever we see it in, gameplay, or really just the game itself, he doesn't really get, that type of range. And I'm a bit worried it might look a tad, jank, might look weird. So, I don't know. But, yeah, by a connection standpoint, I do think this is the best for both. I know there's a bit of bad blood between Kratos versus Asura fans and Kratos versus Dante fans. I've always held the opinion that both do amazing in a category that the other doesn't do. I do find the connections between Kratos and Asura to be far better, but by a dynamic standpoint, I think Dante is just better. And also probably debate, but debate's not that important of an aspect to me. And this is one we actually do have a sneak peek of already, as Devil Artemis showed about a minute of the fights in the Kickstarter stuff. So, push some more support to it, even though by that point we had already long passed that. But yeah, we have a bit to go off on this. It will be 3D. Obviously, Devil Artemis is working on it. We don't know if it's just Devil Artemis or if there's going to be other animators on it. From the sounds of it, it might just be Devil. So hopefully this guy is not doing too much on himself, because good God, he said this is going to be his longest, or probably going to be his longest and most not difficult, but hardest to work on episode. And for a comparison, the longest Devil Artemis episode so far is Frieza vs. Megatron at just under 5 minutes. So this is looking to be about a 5-minute long episode. So that's wild. Not even a finale or a premiere or nothing. It's just a standard-ass episode. I feel like it was just going to be a standard-ass episode regardless. Even, we still had, the Season 11 stuff. And this seemed like something that's just going to happen in Season 11. Probably going to be... Let's say probably going to be a latter part episode, but considering we're already getting it, it probably was going to be about early season. First half season. So, yeah. I guess all the Kratos fans that complained about Wily Tom winning and how it screwed over Kratos vs. Asura, it was going to happen anyways. Why are you surprised? it was set to happen anyways. You would just probably had to wait one more year, and ironically, you still had to wait one more year, at least. So, yeah. But anyways, stuff I want from the fight. Going by like what we have of the setup so far, it does seem like the idea might be Asura finding Kratos in his home and then challenge him to a fight or something. I'm not too sure. Maybe he's aware of Kratos' reputation and what to handle Kratos himself. I don't know. But for the fight, I have it start with some kind of basic-ish shit. You know, maybe like Kratos using his just brute strength and the Leviathan axe. I have tabs open. I should be checking that shit. The Leviathan axe. Have him use axe that, and like have Asura just use his bare fists and like his energy projectiles. Like the fight just probably destroys Kratos' little shack there, but like it gets into the forest. It'd be cool to have maybe a scene of maybe be a bit of a callback to the first fight in the God of War 2018 game, but like role reverse it. Like Kratos talking to Asura, and then Asura just fucking grabs a tree, rips it out of the ground, swings it into Kratos. A bit of a role reverse type thing there. I think that could be pretty cool. And, you know, like, do some of that type of shit. Start out small in the destruction. And one thing I'm hoping they can do throughout the fight is have Kratos use, like, different parts of his arsenal. I already mentioned, like, the Leviathan axe, you know. Like, have a scene where he throws it, Asura dodges, but he calls it back. And he's able to get, like, Asura in the back, maybe. Oh, it doesn't boomerang. It, like, flies and then goes around or something like that. Anyways, like, have Kratos use a good part of his arsenal. You know, like the blades of... Oh, not the blades, Chaos. I want that later in the fight. Sorry, but like, Jupnir's Spear. There's a whole lot of shit. The Spears of Destiny, Barbarian Hammer, Blades of Artemis, Blades of Exile, Blade of Olympics. Like, I want a lot of, like, that type of shit throughout the fight. And, like, have a moment where Asura pins down Kratos and just, like, starts wailing on him with all sorts of punches. But, you know, maybe Asura uses... Or this could be where he uses the Leviathan axe to, like, call back, chops off one of, Asura's arms, like, in the process of calling it back. And which gives Kratos the window of opportunity to kick off, Asura and then hack off his other arm. But with Asura's regeneration, because he apparently has a pretty high tier regen in the manga, and there is apparently an Asura's Wrath manga. I don't know if it's in English, but there is that apparently. And regenerates his arms, and you can have him activate the whole like 6 arms thing. And now Kratos has to fight up against that type of shit. And something I feel like could honestly be pretty cool if it could be done is like bring in Icarus wings. Where, like, Asura, like, sends Kratos in the air, he has to use the Icarus wings, and then becomes a bit more of an aerial battle. He can have Kratos use, like, some of his different types of bows, like the bow of Apollo. I think he has another one. No, that might be it? He might have I don't know. Or also some of his lightning, or not lightning, but magic attacks, like Army of Hades, Zeus's Fury, Poseidon's Rage. He has a couple of magic. Magic abilities. So that could be pretty cool to see in the fight. Have him fight long distance for a bit until Asura just gets tired and like jumps fucking at him, and have like him bring Kratos to the moon. I don't know. That could be nifty. Just a bit of a fight on the moon. Also, regarding something that other shit Asura could use that I kind of forgot about is the what's it called? Where is it? It's like mantra limbs. I'm not finding like the exact mantra arm. Yeah, like that type of shit. Like mantra arms, the attack Kratos from afar as well. I think that could be really fucking cool. Like, stuff like that. Like, have Asura, like, going back to, like, this. I'm all over. I'm sorry. I don't have a script, but, like, fucking just have, like, Asura just grab Kratos or jump at him and then brings the fight to the moon. I wouldn't be surprised if Kratos could breathe in space or something like that. But bring the fight to the moon, and, like, he starts to massively overpower Kratos. But Kratos starts going to, like, the God's Wrath or something. I forget what it's exactly called. Can I find the name of it? Like, the specific thing? Spartan Rage. Like, activates Spartan Rage, and he really starts to overpower Asura on the moon. Big fight on the moon. Maybe you could also have Asura use the Wailing Dark, like a sword. Basically what it is, like, chop up like, huge chunks of the moon and throw them at Kratos, but Kratos, with his pure rage, is overpowering them. I think that shit could be really fun. And, like, he's able to get Asura to the point where he would have to use something like the mantra arms. Like, have him destroy the extra arms, or the 6 arms Vajra armor, or Asura. Destroy those extra 6 arms, and now Asura has to use mantra arms as replacement limbs. And now it's just a fight with that. Until, have like a moment where Kratos pins Asura, have Asura pin down Kratos and starts wailing on him, and then he uses the I'm sorry, I'm constantly all over the place. The final mantra burst, where he just, like, punches Kratos, and then there's, like, a huge burst of fucking mantra behind Kratos. It looks like Kratos is about to die, but the voice of, what's her name? God damn it. I'm up in the wrong thing. It was the voice that was speaking to him at the start. Not Lysandra, I don't think that was it. Pandora, that's who. Like, Pandora telling Kratos not to give up and, use the power of hope or something like that. And then, Kratos just does that, because that is something that he apparently has, like a hope form. Or something along those lines. I don't know if it's mentioned here, but he apparently... I'm taking this from the G1 blog, which I will link in the description, and I probably should have had open. Actually, give me one moment. Okay, I got the G1 blog tab open, and the Kratos form was Power of Hope. It's called Power of Hope. But Power of Hope shit. That, like, have him turn that on. And then he start to get the upper hand on on Asura, but Asura activates the or becomes Asura the Destroyer. Like, I know, like, how to get Asura Destroyer involved him absorbing, like, an attack from the fucking Buddha guy. I don't remember his name. He's important too, because I'm gonna have to be saying his name a lot, but Chakravartin? Chakravartin? I think that's how you say his name. I know he had, like, absorb a mantra attack from him to activate the Destroyer form, but fuck it, we ball. I guess we'll just give him that form here. And he starts to tower over Kratos, become, like, the size of, like, the moon or something, or, like, bigger than the planet. And so Kratos starts to, like, use the blades of what do they call it? I said them earlier. The blades of chaos. And, like, grows in size as he, like, climbs up Asura's arm. And, that would be cool. Be like a big... I just got reminded of the racist Mario video and the ending to that. That's that whole comment. But, like that. That would be cool. Like, Kratos just starts clawing up Asura's arm and makes himself as large as a mountain as he runs up to fucking punch Asura in the face. Or, something else he could do is, because apparently the Blades of Chaos can absorb energy and soul, so, just drive those bad boys into Asura's chest, activate the flame, or, spin them up beforehand so they start lighting on fire, and then stab him into Asura's chest, and start absorbing his energy through that, forcing Asura to go smaller in size. And, swap off Kratos, because Asura the Destroyer, that form, can apparently change his size. I think it's from the DLC, which I could not play because I played Asura's Wrath on the 360, and my 360 does not want to connect to the internet. But, they swap off Kratos, but Asura is smaller in size now. And now it's just this one big final attack. Kratos has lunges towards Asura, and he'll have Asura use the energy blast. Kratos is dodging them, and have these blasts. This is the best way I can think of to have the destruction that I want from an Asura matchup, without making it looking jank on Kratos. Then have the energy blast blow up the moon behind them, and off in the distance planets and stars. That's the best way I can think of to incorporate what I want from an Asura matchup without it being janky for a Kratos matchup. But, stuff like that. Also, maybe Asura uses one of his shields, the Guardian shield, to block a couple of attacks. And then this could be kind of a cool, remind me of 4 vs Vegeta, where you can have Asura, or not Asura, Kratos, but maybe at some point in the fight in the woods, Kratos did not call back the Leviathan axe, and it's just somewhere there. Have him call that back. The axe fucking flies upwards and just stabs Asura in the back, causing him to freeze up, which gives Kratos that moment to swing, to bring the Blades of Chaos down and kill Asura for good. I think that could be a pretty cool way to do the death. Also, in the Asura transformation to Asura Destroyer, have his wife speak to him. I don't remember her name. Was it said in here? I'm looking on the wiki, the Death Battle wiki, with this episode in mind. It's Durga. Or his daughter. Maybe his daughter, Mithra, could also be speaking to him, because she is also very important to him. I don't know. But, you have that, and then that for... And this is if Kratos wins. If Kratos wins, the Leviathan Axe drives into Asura's back, and then Kratos jabs him in. And then boom. Or maybe it could be a big explosion, kind of referencing the end of Asura's Wrath DLC and the game itself, but big ass explosion death that eclipses the Earth. And then if Asura wins, there is nothing left, just him in space. Or there's no Kratos. And he's just there in space, looks around and sees he's the only one that remains. Or if Kratos wins, get a clip of him crashing into the Earth, and then that's that. Have a bit of a final comment from the two. The fight was all over for me. I'm sorry, but debate: who wins? This is one of them. This is one of the ones where the debate is weird, but has a pretty straightforward outcome to it. I guess for the simplest stuff, when it comes to abilities and arsenal, Asura or Kratos has way bigger arsenal going for him. Excuse me. He has a shit ton of weapons. Asura is mostly just the energy projectiles and mantra stuff, which is versatile and plentiful. But I believe he is also limited on how much of those he could use. That might be me misremembering the game because I played it last year at some point. I don't remember when. When was that? Anyways, Asura, I think, might be more limited on like how much mantra he does, but regardless, Kratos has way more versatility and variety with weapons. And I know there was a bit of debate on should Asura or Kratos get his arsenal from the original trilogy before God of War 2018. There's debate on that because I think canonically he loses all that stuff. I don't know if there was an explanation on it, and that was part of the problem. But he loses all that outside the Blades of Chaos. However, we usually take these characters at their peak, so that would include his arsenal from those games. But I do believe there was God of War Ragnarok DLC that basically gave Kratos the means to get a lot of his past weapons back. So that kind of solves that debate. But kind of safe to say Kratos takes versatility. And another thing that's always up for debate is, like, Asura, he can just keep coming back to life, no? Kinda. A big thing in the story of Asura's Wrath is that he is killed, but always comes back in the, I don't remember the name of the place. Land of the Dead, I think we'll call it. It has a specific name, but, It's gonna come in the debate too later. Naraka, I think that's the name of it. Where he keeps coming back to life in Naraka. Like, that's a big thing. However, this whole, like, revive with Asura coming back to Naraka, not foolproof. As, like, the death of, fucking, what's his face? The Buddha guy? Let's call him the Buddha guy. The giant Buddha statue. In the death of the giant Buddha statue, that also killed Asura, and he did not come back from it. Now, this was because killing the big-ass Buddha was basically destroying all of Mantra. So that would basically cut off his life support, technically. But it does show, like, it's not a foolproof revive system. And Kratos does have means of both energy and soul absorption with his different weapons. And apparently with his own fists regarding that shit, but that might just be more so a gameplay thing. And there is also potential soul absorption resistance on Asura's end. However, I think that always comes from like the other Guardians or the other demigods of the Guardian Generals. They absorb like human souls, and Asura is surrounded when doing this, but like his soul's never absorbed. But the reason I think that's the case is because these people are all already dead or knocked out. But when Asura dies, his soul is automatically brought to Naraka. Or, Naraka. However, I believe Kratos' weapons can absorb the soul energy while Asura is still alive. So, kind of a counter that. Kratos also has means of coming back to life after death via the power of hope, since it did bring him back to life. So the whole revive mechanics kind of counter each other out here. But they do have ways of being countered. That's kind of like the main thing. So now we get to go into the fun part, stats. This is a big case of Asura shit. Like, visually speaking, Asura is far more impressive. When it comes to gameplay stuff alone, Kratos only gets, like, multi-cont because of Poseidon, or one of the water gods. While Asura, he has plenty of visual feats that put him into, like, planet, star, moon, or what? I go planet, the star, and then I go down the fucking moon. Solar system, I believe it is. Let me double check. multi-galaxy. So not solar system, but multi-galaxy. As for Asura, is much more straightforward. I'm gonna get Asura out of the way, even though I'm going like out of name order. But regarding stats for Asura, there was the big ass explosion that was made from when he killed Chakravartin. That got calced all the way up to 304.1 septillion foe. That is multi-galaxy. And that's like the highest thing. I know there are some uni arguments for Asura's Wrath. However, they take like those arguments take calcing the whole like big explosion weird and a bit incorrectly from my understanding, as well as using some claims that aren't true or not even in stuff like the Asura's Wrath guidebook. So multi-galaxy, safest bet. And then with speed, there was his destroyer form flying from Gaia, which I think is Earth, essentially Earth, to the big ass statue, which was outside of the galaxy, and he did in a few minutes, and that got calced to 1.8 or 108.3 billion C. So billion C and multi-galaxy. Now, with Kratos, there's this whole debate on visual feats versus lore regarding Kratos. Or there was. And most people in the Versus field just use the lore feats. And yeah, shown was Chosen Undead versus Dragonborn, where we would just use lore feats. So let's look at lore stuff for Kratos here. So there's the head of Helios, and Helios's power lit up the entire underworld. And given lore stuff, underworld is infinite in size. And there's a couple calcs for this, but bare minimum was multi-galaxy or multi-solar system, which was 35 trillion foe, which is lower. That is lower. But there's also two primordials fighting that create the universe. And that would be 4.2 by the 25th power, which was multi-galaxy. I didn't put a number there, so whoopsie daisy. And there was scaling to 4. 4 is on par with Surtur. Surtur in his Ragnarok form detonated all of Asgard, which would be 521.7 quadrillion foe. It's universal. It's universal. We're just gonna say that. Big fucking numbers. Big name numbers. But with lore stuff, it does put Kratos far stronger. It puts him at uni, while Asura is at multi-galaxy. And then regarding speed, scaling the Sito, who created the universe with her punch, ranging from 733.2 quad C to 1.4 quin C. So, yeah, also way faster. So regarding stats, if you just go with the stuff shown in lore, or I mean in game, yeah, Asura is just taking stats. I know I didn't cover speed for Kratos, but I don't think it's necessary. Speed was game stuff. But when you take in lore, Kratos is just taking the stat trendy. And regarding like hacks and abilities and arsenal, Kratos also takes that. So, yeah, it is a straightforward outcome. Kratos just takes that trendy, and generally just bigger arsenal to him. So, for my bets, it's on Kratos. But for rooting, I'm rooting for them both. I really loved God of War 2018, with that being my introduction to the God of War games, and I'm playing Ragnarok. I'm hoping I could beat that before the episode. It's just going to be like a time thing. I also got the first free God of War games. I think one has like 2 and 3 on it, or one has 1 and 2 on it. I don't know. But I got the original trilogy, and I want to finish Ragnarok, and then I want to play that trinity of games. And I just really like Kratos in those games, so I love him. I was originally just rooting for Kratos, but then I looked back at Asura's Wrath and realized I also just really like Asura as a character. Like, Asura's Wrath is also a great experience. More of a story than a game, but I enjoyed Asura's Wrath, so I'm rooting for them both. I think both of them are great characters, extremely well written. So I'm rooting for them both, while my bet will be on Kratos. As for next time, I was originally thinking like Kratos vs. Asura would be the second episode of 2025. Just because I was thinking like they might just need a bit more extra time with it, but now I guess not. But as for next time, if it's a Kickstarter matchup, probably Shigaraki vs. Mahito. Better to get that one done sooner than later. If not, Luz vs. Anne. Another one that's just better to get done sooner than later. Cat vs. Ichigo is another one. We haven't had a Marvel or DC episode since Steph Bell's return, so there's that. A hopeful thought will be Sans vs. the Judge, even though that would be pretty cool as a Halloween episode this year. But, yeah, I'm excited for this. Still a little annoyed that we're getting this before Wily vs. Tom, but I'm excited for the episode. Hope this is really good. There's a lot of hype building up to it, so I'm hoping this will be a very good episode. And I'm excited to see what 2025 has to offer. But, yeah, this was kind of a mess video. But, whatever. Peace.